Welcome to the React OTP Input tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to get started with the Syncfusion React OTP Input component. Using the React OTP Input, you can easily enter one-time passwords during multi-factor authentication in the app. Each field accepts a single character. You can customize the component with input types, styles, placeholders, separators, etc. Before proceeding, make sure you have installed the latest versions of Node.js and React. I'll be using Visual Studio Code as my editor and showing the output in the Chrome browser. First, I open Visual Studio Code and create a new application using the npx create React app command. I name it my React app. Since I want to create the app with TypeScript, I add the template TypeScript. Next, I navigate to the newly created React app. To use the React OTP Input component, I type the command npm install @syncfusion/ej2 react inputs -- save to install the package. Before using a Syncfusion component, I need to register a trial license key. I open the index.tsx file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. For instructions on generating a trial key, refer to the link in the description. First, open the app.tsx file and remove the default code. I import the OTP Input component from the Syncfusion ej2 React Inputs package. Then add the OTP Input component tag. To add styles, open the app.css file. Import the CSS references and add the required margin and width styles to align the component. I save the changes and run the application using the npm start command. See, the React OTP Input component is rendered. The default length is 4. To change this length, I set the length property to 5. Notice that the length of the OTP input is now 5. To set the default value for this component, I set the value property to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see that the OTP input is rendered with the specified number values. Next, I will show you the 3 types of input: number, text, and password. By default, the type property is set to number. If you want to display letters and numbers, set the type property to text and change the value to include letters and numbers. See, it renders with text and numbers. If you want to hide the provided value and display it as dots, change the type property to password. Looking here, the provided value is shown as dots. Next, I will show you how to change the styling modes. There are 3 modes: outlined, filled, and underlined. By default, the styling mode is outlined. To change it, I first change the type from password to text. Then set the styling mode property to filled. Now the component is rendered with the filled style. Now I'll apply the underlined mode. See, the OTP input is rendered with an underline. Next, I will show you how to add a placeholder. For clarity, I'll remove the styling mode and value properties because it might not be visible when I add a placeholder containing a value. Then I add the placeholder property. If I set it to a single character like a hash, all input fields will display this character. Look at the hash displayed in all the input fields. If you want different characters in each input field, set the placeholder property to multiple characters. When multiple characters are set as a placeholder, each OTP input field will display them sequentially based on the specified input length. Looking here, each input field displays the provided placeholder characters in a sequence. Next, I will show you how to add a separator. The separator specifies the character or symbol used to separate each input field to enhance their visual separation. Here, I set the separator property to /. Now, a / is displayed. Next, to customize the appearance of the component by changing its color, font size, or other visual aspects, I set the CSS class property to eSuccess. This applies a predefined style representing a positive action. As a result, the component color has changed to green. Next, I change the CSS class to eWarning, which represents an action that requires caution. See, the color changes to orange. Then I change the CSS class to eError, which represents a negative action. This causes the component color to change to red. Finally, to disable the component, set the disabled property. You'll see the component is disabled. Let me summarize. In this video, I have shown you how to add the Syncfusion React OTP Input component to a React app and customize it. If you want to try out the example in this video, download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link to learn about obtaining a free license key to use our React components through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.